Hello everyone, welcome back to this new video on how do we use Arduino commands to program a vehicle. Now we've learned those three commands in last video and we are going to put them to use. If you draw your knowledge from your earlier trainings, we know when we want to use a motor, we need to set it up first. We need to make it ready. What actually we are doing here is we are setting up the Arduino pins where we are going to attach motor. So before we start talking about the vehicle programming, first let's remember the pin numbers which our Fire board uses to control left and right motor. So pin number 2, 3 and 5 is used for left motor. And pin number 4, 7 and 6 are used by right motor. Now here pin number 2 and 3 are used for the direction control and pin number 5 is used for the speed control. Same way 4, 7 for direction control of the right motor and 6 for the speed control of the right motor. So now if you know direction, when we talk about direction of the motor, direction can be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. It can't be anything else, isn't it? So clockwise, anti-clockwise, there are only two values for the direction. And same way when we want to control the motor, to do that, we will control the pins to be at 0 or 1, which means they are digital values. The speed can be anything from 0 to 255, which means it is an analog value. So when I'm going to talk about pin number 5, it has to be an analog value, whereas pin number 2 and 3 has to be digital value. Another thing which we need to know is that we are going to attach motor to these pins. Motor is an output device, which means when I'm setting these pins should be set as output pins. So let's do that first. And we know we use command pin mode to set the mode of the pin. Pin is all small, M is capital, and again remaining is small. First I'm going to do it for pin number 2. It is output, because motor is output device. Same way all the pins of left motor and right motor have to be output. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it and change the numbers here. Is it mandatory that I have to give it in this sequence 2, 3, 5, 4, 7, 6 because they are 2, 3, 5 and 4, 7, 6? No, it is not mandatory. I can give 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 also. Doesn't matter. Just for the sake of better understanding, I have given it this way. So these are pins for the left motor. These are pins for the right motor. All of them have to be output mode because they are going to be talking with the motor, which is an output device. So this way we have now set up the motor and the motor is ready to accept the commands. Now we have to code the motor. Let's say I want to go forward. When I want to go forward, I need to write commands to the 6 pins, 2 motors. So let me write this first. We know for 2 and 3 it is digital, right? 2, and we want some value. We will put that value later. So for 2 is digital value. For 3 also we are going to write digital value. For 4 and for 7 also we are going to write digital value. So 2, 3, 4 and 7. And for 5, motor 5, I'm going to write analog value. Why? Because it is related to speed. Five comma some value. We'll talk about the value later. And same way for pin number 6 also we will have analog value. Now current will flow through the motor only if one of the pins is positive and another is negative. And let's assume if I give second pin positive and third negative, and if it is moving in a clockwise direction, then to move it in anti-clockwise direction, I need to do pin number 3 positive and pin number 2 negative, exactly opposite of what I did for the clockwise movement. We have devised curio fire in such a way that for clockwise movement, first pin has to be high and second pin has to be low. High means positive, low means negative. But we also know that our left motor has to rotate anti-clockwise for the vehicle to go forward, and right motor clockwise. This is what we have learned earlier. The left motor goes anti-clockwise and right motor goes clockwise, then only the vehicle moves forward. So for anti-clockwise, I need to have pin number 2 low, negative, and pin number 3 high, positive. And in analog right, what is the value I have to pass? I have to pass the speed. Let's say I want to go at full speed. So 255 is my full speed. So this is going to move the left motor in anti-clockwise fashion at full speed. Right motor needs to go clockwise. So the first pin has to be high and second pin has to be low. That will take it clockwise. This pin should be 6. To make it go forward, we need to give the same speed to left and right motor. So now left motor is moving anti-clockwise, right motor is moving clockwise, and this way the entire vehicle is going to go forward. Now I want to let the vehicle go forward for 2 seconds. So I need to have a delay of 200 milliseconds. And then I need to stop. What do you think we should do for stopping? For stopping a vehicle, I can make the speed 0. That way also vehicle stop. But by making speed 0, the vehicle will not stop immediately. It will have certain momentum. Because of the earlier speed, it will have certain momentum and it will go a little forward. You may not see it, but when it is question of precise movements, we don't want even that small amount to go forward. In such cases, what I will do is, I will detach the supply from the motor. And where is the supply going? Supply is going from pin number 2 and 3, low and high. That's why it is current is moving, or high or low. Because there is an imbalance of polarity, the current is flowing. So if I make the polarity same, I make both of them low, current will stop to flow. And hence what I'm going to do to stop, I'm going to do both the things. I'm first copying here. To stop, I'm going to make this speed 0, which is one thing, and I'm also going to make both the pins low. Both the pins at same polarity means the current will stop flowing, and that will ensure that the motor stops then and there immediately. So this is like applying brakes in a real car, and this is like taking your feet away from the accelerator. And if you know, when you want to stop, you do both the things. You take your feet away from the accelerator, so you make speed 0, and you also apply the brake. So that is how we are going to make the vehicle stop. So now this program will move our vehicle forward for 2 seconds and then stop. I'm going to remove this because otherwise it will give error while we compile. And let me compile this. I don't want to save right now. And it's done compiling. So our program is syntactically correct, and we know it is logically also correct. So this is how we use Arduino commands to program a vehicle.